Hi everybody. Today I will be reading 3 short pieces, 1 creative nonfiction piece, and 2 poetry pieces that no one has really heard. So my first piece will be my nonfiction piece, Alcohol Makes You Stronger. I can't remember the last time I've seen my father, grandmother, grandfather, or any other adult who shares the blood of the Thorpe family sober. There would be 8, 12, 24 count packs of Coors Light, Keystone, and Steel Reserve for every family function in the coolers, in place of water and juice. At a young age, I could tell the difference between liquor and beer, dark and clear, strongest to weakest, and each person's favorite. My father taught me these things, and taught me what not to be like. From every morning I spent with my father, I began to adapt to the strict routine that he stuck by. Wake up, walk out of his room and into the kitchen, and reach into the refrigerator for his Mickey. Mickey was his favorite drink to start the day, and I thought it was my favorite too. The green glass bottle appeared to my young eyes, and the animated-looking bee imprinted on the bottle cap stuck with me from seeing it every day. The taste was terrible though. I had a sip of it once my father left it in the room for me unattended. Feeling the burning sensation of the liquid travel down my throat, leaving the aftertaste of what seemed like nickels, dimes, and acid, I could only wonder how a person could drink that every day and why. He would continue his day, drinking around 2 or 3 bottles in the morning, and when he'd head out, he'd add an extra bottle from the fridge in his car's cup holder, even with the extra case of them lying in the back seat. He'd ask me to reach in the back to grab one out of the box, or to count them out left, till he could stop at this gas station to buy more. It was a repeating cycle for him, and by the time I was 12, I could adapt. We stopped by my grandparents' house, seeing their cars parked in the driveway before we walked in. My grandmother would be sitting in a reclining chair with a can of Coors Light, talking to my grandfather beside her. He would have a can as well, taking small steps as he listened to his wife rant about her day at work or family drama, hearing all her slurred and gibberish talk. She noticed that my father-in-law walked in, and she'd instantly greet me with a hug and a wet kiss on the cheek, leaving an abundant smell of beer lingering. My grandbaby, mwah, how you doing? My father would always interrupt her after chugging the rest of his beer down. She aight, why you gotta yell? Then they'd argue. From all these years, I realized that beer gives you confidence. It gives you the ability to speak your mind without worrying about what the consequences may lead to. Words will leave their mouths that I know that they will soberly regret, but then I remember that drunk minds speak sober thoughts. They will argue about small things like football games and family drama that will later transpire into harsh words being thrown at one another. Do you even love me? What kind of son are you? What kind of mother are you? Get the hell out. Some days the arguments would get so bad that my father would drop a tear or two, and I'd do the same. The ride's home would be silent. I look at my father, seeing one hand on the wheel and the other opening a new can. He'd chug it before we reached the end of the road, with his foot pressed harder on the gas by the second. I look at him through my peripheral, seeing how his eyes were fixed on the road ahead, with a tear or two rolling down his cheek. I was too scared to say anything, so I look out the window next to me, trying to turn my focus to the subtle music playing on the radio. We'd make it to my house in little time from him speeding down the road. He'd park, slouching into the driver's seat, repeatedly apologizing for the scene that happened only a few seconds ago. I'd always reassure my father that it was okay, and kiss him on the cheek, reminding him that I loved him before getting out of the car. I took the echo of the heavy conversations and my father's tears with me as I got out of the car and entered my house. The silent rides, the sound of a fresh can being opened, and the emotional release weaved our relationship together. Tears were threatening to fall from my eyes as I walked into my house, and I realized that someone needed to be his wife. I was willing to accept that role for my family's sake, and I promised to never pick up a bottle for my sake. And the next thing I'll be reading is a poem. It's called Deflower Me. If I was a flower, I would want you to pluck every forbidden petal and leaf from my stem and tell me again that I will still be beautiful. And if I am a rose, I hope that the thorns pierced upon me would do you no harm. Even after you ripped me from the ground that I grew from, you are still the one I'd seek when I need nurture. You are my water and sun. Even after you show me that you do not care whether I live or die, I will continue to rot in the palm of your hand, just because I love you. And at the end of the day, when the sun goes down and I fall from your fingertips, I watch you walk away from me. And I pray that when I die, I will be reborn into another flower you pick up, just because I'm pretty. And my last piece is another poem called Blue Dream. When you appear in my dreams, blue is always present. I envision us on a beach with sand running under our toes and our fingers entwined on the shore. In this quiet moment, the crystal waters rush across our feet. We look out into the horizon, resting beyond our sea, still and silent. You console me with your presence, and in this instant, only the rhythms of our existence are left. You look down at me and smile, a smile brighter than any sunset, a grin that serves as the vision for a lifetime of dreams and the use of many verses. And when I open my eyes, I only wish for you to be next to me, under my covers, resting, dreaming the same.
Carter Neiman is our next senior. Carter writes beautifully. You will hear a haunting story about a train. Tonight, I think also one thing Carter learned over the past 4 years at ARGS is that his passion is analyzing literature and craft. And when I say he does this better than anyone else I know, I mean it. It's what Carter is for. I believe Carter has read 10% of all the books ever written by humankind. He carries about 7 pounds of them in his backpack on any given day, and he always has a bagel as well. In his junior year, I remember thinking that if I gave this 16-year-old my novel manuscript, he would give some of the most insightful feedback I've ever had. That's terrifying, humbling, and true. Carter Neiman.